Mä taisin voittaa se fighti. Tommonen on joskus paha tilanne, kun tulee network-ongelma yhtäkkiä kesken, kun sä oot niinku fightaamassa.
I need to get closer.
Mikä meitä vaivaa? Se on hyvä kysymys, Syndikate. Mikä meitä oikein vaivaa? Miksi me tehtiin tämmönen hirviö? Itse saatiin päättää, millainen luonne sillä on, ja tämä on mikä me valittiin. Eipä voi ainakaan syyttää ketään muuta kuin itteen. Small red pouch. Nice. Saatiin heti inventory spacea. Mun viime hahmo, jota mä itsekseni pelasin, niin mulla ei dropannut yhtäkään inventory bagia. Nuo taitaa olla huonommat. Ei, kun nuo on paremmat kuin mun Rugged Trappers Boots. Joo, uudet kengät. Enää 52 nuolta. Kyllä ne varmaan tähän seikkailuun vielä riittää. Hemo Kalevi on myös Pick Me Girl ja ajattelee, että naisen paikka on nyrkin ja hellan välissä. Joo, ehdottomasti. Ja on sitä mieltä, että minä en ota käskyjä keneltäkään muilta kuin miehiltä. Vain miehet komentavat minua. Täällä on vaan booreja. Tuolla olisi vielä spideri. Siellä. Joo, Hemo Kalevi yrittää pitää yllä sellaista imagoa itsestään sellaisena Night Elf-tyttönä, minkä kanssa kaikki sen kanssamieliset rasisti Night Elfit haluais olla. Tämmönen perinteikäs Night Elf-tyttö. No niin, nyt on questi suoritettu ja sitten pitääkin mennä ostamaan nuolia lisää. Mulla on niitä enää 38. Hetkinen, joo, tuo äskeinen disconnecti ei ollut tässä peliin puolella, vaan se tapahtui ihan meidän striimillekin. Joo, meidän striimi disconnectas välissä. Nyt näkyy vaan 4 minuuttia stream timea. Okei. Eli mun pitää vähän vilkuilla mun kellosta, mun kännykästä sitten, että milloin stream time on. No ehkä mä laitan herätyksen. Toivotaan, että tuo Sepi tuolla toisessa huoneessa ei herää siihen. Koska tässä ei paljon näy kelloa missään, kun tässä tää vovi-näkymä. Mäpä laitan ajastimen. Herätyskello. 23, noin. Mäpä laitan 22.55, niin että noin. Niin sitten jää 5 minuuttia aikaa vähän niinku reidaa joku ja silleen. Onko meillä striimiystäviä nyt onlineina? Ei tällä hetkellä muita kuin Holgeri, niin kuin näitä, jotka on meitä reidaillut, tai joilla on ainakin reidiasetukset päällä. Eli voipi olla, että reidaillaan Holgeria sitten tunnin päästä. No niin, käydään viemässä meidän myrkyt takaisin. Meidän hemokalevi menee olemaan toksinen tuota jätkää kohtaan. The entire universe just lagged 5 minutes ago. Joo, sitä minäkin. Koko universumi vaan niinku blinked.
Thank you, adventurer. When I return to Darnassus, I will compare the venom within these sacks with the venom of other spiders. It is my belief that it will have properties linked to the recent growth of our new world tree. Now that I have
Saatiin uusi tikaari.
I'd like some live specimens to study. Unfortunately, capturing a living giant spider is more than I can ask of you, young adventurer. And a giant spider is more than I could handle myself. But if you can find an unhatched egg, then delivering specimens will be much easier, and I can then arrange for the unhatched spiders to be contained. There must be a nest deep in the Shadow Thread Cave. Please, search for an egg in the nest and return it to me.
Okei, ja siitä saatais meidän eka chest armorikin.
Goodbye.
No eiköhän me mennä tunkeutumaan hämähäkin pesään ja varastamaan siltä sen lapset pois. Kyllähän se kuulostaa ihan appropriate käyttäytymiseltä. Miksi toi eka lause siitä oli niin noin kuumottelevan kuulonen? En tiedä. En osaa sanoa. En osaa sanoa, mitä tapahtui. Nopea meni tommoseksi ice matingiksi. Viiän porukalta lapset. Tervehdys ja hyvästely oli aivan eri äänet. Okei. En itse pistänyt merkille, mutta joo, uskon.
Peace be with you.
Niin, myyänpä. Myyään nämä tavarat eka. Joo. Meidän vanha tikaari, sillä ei tee enää mitään. Ja sitten ostetaan nuolia. Ostetaanhan kunnolla noin. Joo. Näillä me pärjätään. Kertakiellon päälle. Ihan kunnolla nuolia. Ja sitten mennään mennään tekemään ice raidi tonne hämähäkin pesään ja viedään sieltä sen lapset pois ja tehdään hyviä päätöksiä. Se oli muuten viime striimissä kans, vai oliko toissa kerralla, kun just samaan aikaan tuli tommonen pikku disconnecti. Just silleen, että jäi 1 tunti jäljelle striimi aikaa. Ja se niinku viimeistä tuntia varten disconnectas 1 kerran. Se tapahtui viime kerrallakin. Mä veikkaan, että tuo on meidän päädyssä, eikä itse Twitchin päädyssä, mutta se tuntuu kummallisen säännölliseltä. Silleen, että joo, siinä vaiheessa kun oot striimannut 4 tuntia, niin tulee 1 pätkähys. Katsotaan, niin tää meidän saakeli hemokalevi ei kuole ikinä ja tää selviää jonnekin levelille 60 asti ja sitten me aletaan tekemään reidejä tällä. No me ei voitais periaatteessa tehdä raideja striimissä, koska raidit pitää olla määrättynä aikana. Sen lisäksi mä en ole varma suostuisko mikään porukka siihen, että me striimataan niiden reidi, kun siellä on kuitenkin jotain 29-39 ulkopuolista. Muutenkin mä en ole ikinä tehnyt reidejä ennen, ja tää on hardcore, joten jos me tehtäisiin virhe siellä, me kuoltais, joten... Mitä jos hemokalevi suvakoituu tässä matkan varrella? Oho! Täällä ehdotetaan tästä character-arkkia hemokaleville, että jossain vaiheessa hemokalevista tulee enemmän ja enemmän wokee. Se alkaa tajuta, että sen älä esitä, että sua huolettaa sen kuolema. Ei kyllä huoleta. Olet ihan oikeassa. Mitä mä oikein ajattelin? Saatana hemokalevi. Maailma olisi vaan, Azeroth olisi vaan parempi paikka ilman sitä. No niin, sitten mennään hämähäkkiluolaan pöllimään hämähäkki-emon lapset. Aha. Sieltä sivusta kävikin hämähäkkikimppu ja väijytti. Ei ole enää turvallinen olo Shadowglennin metsiä pitkin kävellä. Ennen oli, mutta Shadowglen on pilalla. World of Wokecraft, kyllä. Nuatio, moro. Meillä on meidän uusi hahmo, hemokalevi. Chatti vaan päätti, että sillä on Riikka Purran luonne, joten... joten olemme saaneet kauhistella, kun se täällä sanoo sen näkemyksiä siitä, että Shadowglen on kyllä nyt pilalla, kun tänne tulee kaiken maailman ihmiset ja kääpiöt ja maahiset. Lähtikö letti? Ei, kyllä sillä on sen yksi palmikko tuossa pitkin sen hartia. Tervettä nationalismia, joo, niin se on. Näkisitpä mitä muualla päin Azerothia tapahtuu, niin siinä Suvakki olisi ihmeissään. Tarkoitan siltä edelliseltä dwarf, mutta joo, Hillhofkokkar kuoli. Hillhofkokkar joi itsensä känniin ja tappeli karhuja vastaan ja... Rip Hillhofkokkar, kyllä. Heilutteli miekkaa, jonka käyttöä ei ollut koskaan opetellut. Ja sitten vielä kun se selvisi jonkun aikaa siitä, niin se päätti, että hän lähtee kuule sitä kaikista voimakkainta karhua vastaan. Tähän kyllä pärjää. No niin, nyt meillä on chest armori, nyt me voidaan ottaa tältä paita pois. No niin, kato, siinä on meidän tissihemokalevi nyt. Bazookas, niinpä. Rip True Chad joi kännit ja tappeli karhuja vastaan. Se Kalja varmaan antoi liikaa false confidence, joo. Näin siinä joskus käy. Kävi melkein niinku Robert Baratheonille, niin on. Se oli hyvin semmoinen Robert Baratheon-mainen kuolema, paitsi että kukaan ei koettanut järkätä sitä, se vaan teki se itselleen. Hemokalevin mielestä Night Elfien eroaminen allianssista ei ole ajankohtainen tavoite, mutta se on pitkän tähtäimen tavoite, kyllä. Juuri nyt ei ole mitään vaihtoehtoa erota allianssista, mutta kyllä sitten kuitenkin meidän Night Elfien pitäisi vain huolehtia meidän omista asioistamme, eikä että kaiken maailman lapsikuninkaat päättää meidän asiastamme jossain Stormwindissä. Hei, kato arkku. Wow.
That's still recharging.
Oh. Come on, hemokalevi kuole. Elä selviä tästä fightista. Come on. Oh man, hemokalevi selvisi. Hemokalevi on ilmastodenialisti, vaikka merkit siitä on jo olemassa Shadowclanin luonnossa, totta. I am back. Oh, it's our friend. Welcome back. Had to clear cache? Okay. Well, good to see you back. How's everything been? We're playing World of Warcraft over here, and chat decided that our Night Elf Huntress has the personality of our current finance minister, who's just an absolute piece of shit racist human being, so... Had to try and hurry up and steal the treasure chest so the other guy doesn't get it. Because that's how Hemokalevi operates. Everything to benefit herself and nothing for others. Oh, ragged leather vest. It's an actually a better armor than we had. Yeah, that's what we do here, Nuatio. When we get some like international people here, we'll speak English, and then once it's just us, we switch back to Finnish. That's kind of how we usually do things here. What politics did you discuss? Well, there was this. Our like first story was on how the United States has completely failed at getting Iran to. They've completely failed at trying to destabilize Iran. The problem is that they've actually, our state media talked about this, they've actually caused Iran to unify more because of the bombing. Like, the bombing has actually made Iranian opposition join forces with the current administration in protesting against the foreign invaders, which of course that's what happens. What the fuck did they think it would do? Yeah, I mean, well, Netanyahu said that it would destabilize the Iranian government and cause the people to have an uprising and take over their own government, but nope, it unified them. Gave them like a foreign enemy to fight against. And they fucking believed him. Well, to be fair, 2 of Trump's advisors, including Marco Rubio, said that that's bullshit. That it wouldn't happen. And it's farcical to think it would. But Trump told them to shut up and listen to Netanyahu instead. So that's what happened. I guess now that we've done everything else, we can help this freeloader over here. Oh, he's poisoned. Boo-hoo. Help yourself. What am I, your welfare system? Yeah, so we discussed that, and then we had like a big... We had a big segment on trans rights and how in Finland being trans is still considered like a psychiatry diagnosis, like a mental health diagnosis. Even when the World Health Organization has already deemed that it's not. So Finland is lagging 7 years behind on trans rights issues. Oh, we need to get some antidote for this guy. Please hurry.
May the stars guide you.
I'll go at my own pace. It's your fault for getting poisoned. Some Iranians in Finland celebrated the US attack on Iran. That's why they're in Finland. Yeah, some did, but you're always gonna have people like that, avaruuskakku. Every time there's any kind of attack from anyone against anyone, you will have some people celebrating. Like, even if it's universally... Even if... I bet there were some people in Ukraine celebrating when Russia attacked. I mean, they'd have to be fucking insane, but I bet they exist. So yeah, it's not really an example of anything that some people celebrate. It always happens. It's also not like Netanyahu believed it either. He just wants to kill Muslims. That's true, Ogre. That's true. Netanyahu knew his plan was bullshit, I think. He's just a genocidal maniac who loves the smell of burning children. That is completely correct. But I think Trump believed him. I think Trump believed Netanyahu when Netanyahu said it's a quick in and out, great victory for America, makes Trump look great, makes America look strong. I think Trump believed it, which says a lot about Trump. Yeah, that's like Lizard Man's constant. If you were to poll people on whether we should bomb our own cities and just fuck everything up in general, roughly 4% will answer yes, just for the lols. Yeah, that's true. Woke people hate Trump, but woke people hate the Iranian government too. Iran is a piece of shit country for women. I don't disagree, Avaruskakku. Like, I am not in support of the social policies of Iran. However, there's a time and a place for that conversation. Like, in Ukraine, from my understanding, Zelensky is right-wing. I think Zelensky, if I'm not misremembering, I think Zelensky is like a right-wing politician. So, but if you came up to me and asked me, do you support Zelensky? I'd be like, yeah, sure. They're under foreign invasion.
Ah, very good. I will have
so yeah, time and place.
Transported to Darnassus, then return there when my studies are done here. I expect to find out a great deal from these.
My friend, Iran is the wokest country I have been in my life. Iran is the Finland of the Middle East. Of the Middle East.
Adventurer, is it? I heard that Teneron has been asking.
Whereas I
Find him in the highest
don't
room atop
think
Aldrassil.
Iran
He
is
may live
woke
long
enough
lives,
for my
but expect
tastes.
do not keep him waiting too long.
I'm not sure the Middle East has a country that's better on progressive issues. I'm not saying Iran's good on them, but from my perspective at least. But I wonder, what's the counter argument? Does anyone in chat know? Is there a Middle Eastern country that's more progressive than Iran? What do you guys think? Genuine question. Okay, we've been summoned to speak with Teneron Stormgrip atop Aldrassil in Shadow Glen. Oh, atop the tree? Well, I guess we will then. Yeah, sure. That guy's poison wounds can wait. I'm not sure Trump can really be said to believe anything at this point. He's way too far gone mentally. Yeah, but he did believe Netanyahu in that moment, and that's all that matters. Netanyahu convinced Trump while inside the Situation Room, and that was enough for a war to happen. Not that USA wasn't going to war anyway, because even Kamala Harris had said that Iran is the greatest threat. I wonder if she said that Iran is the greatest threat to the United States, which is insane. You'd have to be insane to say that. Or lying, which she was. Kamala Harris is not insane. She's a fucking liar. So yeah, she was lying when she said that. But she might have even said that Iran is the greatest threat to the world. I don't remember which it was, but she said one of those things. Kamala Harris was also positioning herself politically to invade Iran. So, yeah, even without Trump, the United States was gonna invade Iran. Which sucks, which is really fucking stupid. Because it accomplishes nothing. I think Turkey is better for women. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Almost all of them except Afghanistan. They were jailing / torturing women for exposing their hair in Iran. Oh, well that's bad. There are plenty of Middle Eastern countries that don't do that, even though they aren't exactly woke either. Oh, okay. To be honest, I don't remember a time US wasn't at war. It's all just smoke. Yeah, I wonder.
What brings you here?
I don't think the United States was...
I was hoping you'd be prompt in answering my summons.
I don't think... Was the United States at war with anyone before they attacked Afghanistan? Like, in 2001. Was the United States at war with someone even then? I was 14, so I don't really remember.
It is time for you to set out to seek your destiny, adventurer. But before you are ready to set out into the world,
that is because the part of Turkey you've probably been to is in Europe. Go to the south of or east of Turkey and it's just like Syria because they border. Well, I don't know anything about that. Did you see the UFO files? It's a crazy fucking time to be alive. I did see the UFO files, Nuatio. And it had some like pics of like a UFO and a flash of light, but apparently that was an artist's rendering of what someone described. So yeah, there was basically nothing in the UFO files, I think. At least unless I'm missing something. Moonwell north of Aldrassil. Okay. Bring some water.
What brings you here?
It's just not true. Iran is filled with a bunch of seculars. Half of the women do not even wear hijab. I believe that was true at some point, but I don't think it's true anymore, right? Like, wasn't it that Iranian women used to just wear jeans and tops, but that was before the current administration, right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Agreed, they have been backsliding under Erdogan, but they're nowhere near as bad. Iran was in possession of a large amount of the world's oil reserves. The US is now in possession of those oil reserves. They invaded Afghanistan in 2001. Yeah, but before they did, I mean. Before they invaded Afghanistan, that's what I'm saying. Like, they did it in 2001, but before they invaded Afghanistan. Was the United States at war with anyone then? Like, before 9/11. It was like a giant vibrator coming out of the star from Teletubbies, yeah. Yeah, the UFO files are nothing burger and a distraction, yes. Yeah, where are you getting that? I don't think the United States has successfully accessed any of the Iranian oil reserves, right? Iranian women used to be banned from wearing hijab by the American puppet state government, but now only half of them wear it. Come and see yourself. I don't think it's safe for me to travel to Iran. Thanks for the invitation, though. The US isn't in possession of anything except a giant mess in the Straits of Hormuz. Yeah, it's not going well for them, is it? They attacked Iraq before Afghanistan. Do you mean Desert Storm? Are you talking about Desert Storm? Or was there an Iraq invasion between Desert Storm and 9/11? Because wasn't Desert Storm like somewhat before 9/11? Like, I was very young when all this happened, so I'm really spitballing here. UFO files were always going to be nothing. UFO doesn't actually mean extraterrestrial. Technically, anything is a UFO until it is identified. That's true. Like, the astronauts saw some strange lights on the moon, they're gonna report that. It's a UFO. It's an unidentified flying object. They didn't identify what it was. Saddam started Gulf War I by invading Kuwait, right? Yeah, they attacked Iraq before 9/11. On the morning of 9/11, they were doing an air blockade in Iraq. Then W started Gulf War II for no good reason. UAP? I'm not sure. Have they changed what they're calling UFOs now?
Oh dear, I was wondering why I hadn't seen Ivaron yet today, and I've always warned him about those spiders. We may be able to help Ivaron, as I know of an antidote that should help with the poison. It requires some ingredients, though, before I can make it. I'll need hyacinth mushrooms. You can find these growing under trees, or you may collect them from the Grell south of here. They seem to have taken a liking to them. I'll also need moon petal lilies, which only grow around watery pools. The last ingredient may prove the most difficult. From the very spiders that poisoned Ivaron, collect webwood ichor.
Okay, so we gotta collect ingredients for the antidote. Well, I'm in no hurry to do that. Let's just slowly walk our way over here and buy some and sell our stuff. Unidentified aerial phenomenon? Maybe. Yeah, maybe they call it that these days. Maybe they do. On Twitch we call them glorps, yeah. I think Barack Obama talked about it in an interview and corrected the press saying they are now referred to as that. Okay. Could be.
Bless you.
Oh yeah, let's put on the woodland tunic. It's a bit better than our old ragged leather vest. By like 2 armor points. Now let's sell our old stuff. And fix our gear.
Goddess watch over you.
And I guess now we go and collect the antidote part. The antidote ingredients. Mushrooms, lilies, ichor, and I guess we go to the north and gather up some of that water into our crystal file. That moonwell water. Yeah, I guess that's a more accurate term because like half of them probably aren't even physical objects. More like optical reflections or something. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I remember one UFO was like a seagull that just looked weird from the perspective of a fighter jet. Like a fighter jet was filming in a direction and a shadow seemed to be moving at an impossible speed. But it was like an optical illusion caused by a bird flying like strangely perpendicular to the plane or something, which made it look like when the ocean sweeps past and the bird flies in a different direction, it looks like it's going at an impossible speed or something. I think it was something like that. This was years ago, I remember reading about this. Most of the modern UAP sightings have been stuff that, according to our modern understanding of physics, couldn't be an object. Yeah, probably like phenomenon. Me personally, I don't believe in space aliens. I don't. Maybe they exist on some faraway star, on some faraway planet, but I don't think they're like all around us and flying spaceships in our vicinity. That sounds silly to me. Like, if space aliens existed, they'd behave pretty much the same way. They'd behave in sensible ways, not silly ways. And all of these UFO sightings are just really silly. I mean, the aliens would have traveled light years to get here. They'd be here for very, very specific and intellectual reasons. Like, they'd have some very clearly made plans. Yeah, whatever your take on the Fermi paradox and the existence of alien life in theory, I think we can agree there almost certainly aren't any flying saucers coming to Earth right now and crashing in little redneck towns in the southern US. Yeah, that's what I think. The aliens just tried to filter my message. The truth is out there. Oh, shit. Aliens tried to censor us, but the moderation picked it up. The chances are perhaps low, but never zero. I would play the devil's advocate here and argue that it's possible that there are aliens in our vicinity in a cosmical sense that are just technologically far more advanced than we are. If they were that much more advanced, Nuatio, I think they'd be easier to detect because they'd have like megastructures. And then we'd notice. They'd have like satellites orbiting their sun, collecting energy, stuff like that. The fact that we're not seeing anything like that is a pretty good indication that they're just not there. However, who knows in a universe as vast as ours? Maybe they're out there somewhere, but in any case, our current readings on astronomy already tell us that alien life is at least astonishingly rare. Like we can't see we can't see any exactly anywhere. We haven't been able to pick up anything anywhere. So it's strangely quiet out there. Strangely quiet. FTL travel is not a necessity for that, in my opinion. Maybe they just have a way of avoiding being detected. Maybe. But then they'd all have to agree to not be detected. They'd all have to agree. It would take just one dissident to, be able to detect them. Unless it's just one race of aliens that agreed. Which is possible, but it would require a massive project to completely hide your existence. They'd have to have agreed to a massive project to do so. There being alien life somewhere is almost a statistical certainty. Them having visited us is not likely. And alien life, depends on your definition, Ogre. do you mean advanced alien life with spaceships? Because that is not a statistical certainty. But, life, microorganisms, almost certainly. Almost certainly. Go back only 100 years and show the person modern technology and they will think it's magic? Oh, I definitely agree. What if there's an intelligent extraterrestrial life form that has had billions of years more than us to advance their understanding of science? Yeah, I think they'd leave a trail of that. Haven't we found signs of life on Mars? Yeah. It's, maybe. I'm not sure if we have, but yeah, I'm not saying like organisms don't exist in space. I think organisms probably exist in space. It's almost certainly. But we're talking about like space aliens with spaceships. Whether those exist, we don't know. But we haven't seen any. That is true for the general population, but for most people living now, phones might as well be magic. Yeah, true. You said you don't believe in space aliens. That's another thing I strongly disagree with you on. The sheer vastness of the universe makes it almost a mathematical impossibility that life only happened on Earth. Why only here? I don't know, Nuatio. I don't have an answer to that. However, I don't know where everybody is. The Milky Way has hundreds of billions of stars? Yeah. And the Milky Way is just one galaxy. I agree. But where is everybody? Why aren't we seeing anybody? We can see into other galaxies even. How come we're not seeing any megastructures? Like any at all? Even in other galaxies? Because we can see into other galaxies. Why can't we see anything out there? Where is everybody? Anyway, I'm not going to tell you I have proof there's nobody out there. I don't. No one does. If I were to claim to you that I have proof, then you would be listening to a crazy person. Because nobody can have proof. This lightsaber is just chilling. It just made like a mrrr noise. That's chill. The United States attacked Korea from 50 to 53, yeah. Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia from 65 to 75, yeah. Lebanon in 58, Indonesia from 58 to 61, Libya in 86, Lebanon again from 75 to 90, Iraq from 90 to 2003. Yeah, unless there's something wrong with your figures, and I don't know if there is, I think we can safely confirm Nuatio's point that the United States has always been at war. Yeah, I think they have. The 90s was an era of peace, but the United States was still, fighting wars even then. Yeah, I think that's true. That's exactly the point of the Fermi paradox. Trillions of galaxies. Trillions. Yeah, right. There's trillions of galaxies, and we can see into them. And we're seeing no megastructures. So where is everybody? That is the question I ask. Like, where is everybody? Even in the 50s to 60s, they were wondering about this? Yeah. And we have accumulated way more observations since then and still haven't found anything. That is very strange and unexpected. Yeah, that's precisely that's the point. Like, at this point, the sensible thing to have happened is that we would have found hundreds of life forms out there. Hundreds. Thousands. because there's so many stars out there that we've observed. It would make sense for us to just all the time be picking up life forms. Just all the time. But instead of that, we haven't found one. And that's really, really strange. And we don't really have an answer as to why. It is a mystery. And we don't really disagree on anything, Nuatio. Like I said, this is a question of belief. So we don't really disagree on anything. We have the same set of facts. It is a very good question. It is. They looked at us and said, "You," and hid themselves from us. All of them? Like all of them? I think there's a good likelihood of there being there or having been some intelligent life at some point. There's just a good likelihood they never really got out of their own solar system. I really don't think we as humans will ever get out of our solar system properly. Okay, that is one. So you think the Great Filter is ahead of us? Is what you're saying, Ogre? Like, there is a Great Filter that makes space travel next to impossible. No, it can't just be next to impossible. It has to be literally impossible. Like, we can't do it, and neither can anyone else, because no one else has done it. At least if we're going with your explanation. Absolutely. I guess my little theory about them perhaps being so far ahead of us that they can simply control what we can observe is my way of making sense of it. Okay, Nuatio, but if there's trillions and trillions, then how about the ones who don't have that technology? Where are they? How about the ones who are just 1,000 years ahead of us? How about the ones that are 15,000 years ahead of us? There should be a whole bunch of different aliens at different points of evolution, like everywhere. Where are all of them? Where are they? Why can't we find any? If the numbers were like common sense would dictate, there should be like billions of alien civilizations out there. Then like millions of them would be way, way more advanced than... Oh, we're already this far to the stream? Man, time really flies when you're just chilling and chatting with the dudes. Yeah, I gotta start ending stream. I guess I'll gather up this. I think I saw one more mushroom over. Yeah, I'll pick up this mushroom. Then next time we can go after the webwood ichor. And yeah, we're gonna quit playing here. And man, I really like talking about space aliens with you guys. Could have gone on longer. Let's exit the game. Let's see. I'm still gonna pick up on where Chad is at. And then it becomes almost inevitable we would have spotted at least one galaxy covered in megastructures, but we haven't seen any. Yeah, to be clear, I said I do not remember a time the US hasn't been at war. Yeah, that's true. You did say that. I didn't say they've always been at war. Yeah, but it kind of seems like they are, maybe. It would require something like that, only we don't have any conceivable way to explain how they could do that without violating conservation of energy. Even if you claim that you wouldn't be far from the truth, yeah. So far ahead that we can't even understand it, yeah. I was there too before. They don't even fit on one Wikipedia page. Oh, I definitely enjoyed the conversation too, Noah. The very interesting conversation. They have 6 separate Wikipedia pages just to list all their wars. Talk about the United States and wars. FTL or even close to FTL travel is a momentous obstacle to overcome. It is. It really is. My take is that FTL is probably completely impossible. I wish it wasn't, but the speed of light limit kind of underlies everything about our reality, including the concept of cause and effect. So you kind of need it for physics to make any sense. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't even form a human lifetime if FTL was possible, because you made a decision in elementary school and you kind of regret it. Well, you can go FTL and then you can go unmake that decision. Like nothing would ever. And then you'd get into paradoxes like, well, how did you come back and warn yourself when you never made the decision to begin with? So who came back and warned you? Yeah, it would completely break causality if anyone could go FTL even once. So if they do, they break causality. They just do. But even without FTL, interstellar travel should be possible. Just very, very difficult, but that's not the same as impossible. Physics don't make no sense. That's true. That is very true. A species surviving so long to be able to travel outside their solar system is insanely unlikely. Think of how many times humanity has almost ended itself. It ended itself, even though we haven't even been able to do it for more than 100 years. Yeah, that's also true. So, are you saying we're past the Great Filter and everyone else has destroyed themselves? Like the trillions of species, the billions of species have destroyed themselves. Depends on your point of view. In a way, it's Einstein's relativity that makes complete sense and our primitive monkey brains that don't. I guess so. Perhaps some kind of cryo chamber thing controlled by AI that wouldn't require us to make the trip during one human lifetime. I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of ways to solve that problem. Then you get into quantum physics and all of that goes out the window. Yeah, sleeper ships are just one of many proposals. People having been brainstorming these things a lot and not just like idiots like Elon Musk. Even Einstein's relativity is pretty wonky when you really think about it. Time dilation and shit. Yeah, but it's true. It actually happens. We know it for a fact. Which is completely incompatible with relativity, but somehow also correct. Like, what? Yeah. Photon travels 100 light years, but from the photon's perspective, that journey happens in an instant. Yes, Nuatio, and it's even weirder than that. A photon is simultaneously experiencing the entire universe from beginning to heat death. All the time. If a photon could think and feel, it would be simultaneously experiencing the universe. Which is fucked up. Physics don't make no sense, yeah. Easy, the photon doesn't travel, its space-time distance is 0, yeah. They all have to find a bacteria or something in space first before arguing that life outside Earth exists. Yeah, I mean, I bet there's a bacteria out there somewhere. Why not? Why wouldn't there be? It's not that hard for a bacteria to form. Why is it like that? Yeah. We've gotten used to thinking of space and time as different things. Yeah. The great filter of not destroying yourself might be a period of 10,000 years. We still might have 99,900 to go. Could be. You might be right. Photons were one of the first things created in the early universe. I think so. Yeah. Anyway, I've definitely enjoyed the conversation, but we have to go now. Oh, hey! My VTuber Oshi Aurea Korvae is streaming, so I'm gonna send you over to her. Let's raid Aurea. What's the channel name? Aurea Korvae, yeah. You go over. This shit is fascinating. You go over to Aurea and you tell her Cosmic Raid. Cosmic Raid. That's what you tell her. Okay? Are we clear on that? You go Cosmic Raid. And I'll be back Wednesday. Until then, you gotta say Cosmic Raid to Aurea. And until we meet again, what I'm gonna need for you guys to do is to stay woke. Wait, wait, why didn't the raid start? Oh, we have a raid. Wait, why isn't the raid? The raid isn't working for me. I want to send you guys. Where's the raid? Okay, now the raid's working. Yeah, the raid isn't raiding. Yeah, it didn't, but now it is. Okay, stay woke, you guys. Cosmic Raid!